Hey guys. Okay, so I got a comment on one of my videos asking what I thought about aftermarket cables. There's a couple things. I approach this from a different standpoint, and a lot of people have covered this, but nobody I've heard quite covers it the way that I do, the way that I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to kind of explain what I think, if it makes a difference or not. I think first off, I should preface this by saying that regarding the technical aspects of how sound and a signal travels through cables, I am not qualified to answer that. I cannot legitimately and honestly tell you if sound travels better through one material or another. I just do not know. But what I can tell you and what I can explain is the difference and the way that consumer logic works, and when a cable, an aftermarket cable, a nicer cable can be seen as better. And the way I'm going to approach this is from a psychological standpoint. Many of us have heard and used the term placebo effect. Now, originally, what the placebo effect was, a placebo was a sugar pill that was given to test subjects, and they told them that it was pain medication. And then after they took it, a few minutes later, they expressed that their pain or had started to or completely subsided, when really they never had any painkiller at all. But the effect of thinking that they had the painkiller, you know, that was able to affect them enough to be out of pain. So your mind is a very powerful thing. I'm not the first one to say that, but it's true. So I think if you are optimistic about cables, if you think they are going to work, if you buy an expensive cable, I think your mind will gravitate towards thinking that it's doing something. Like I said, I cannot speak on whether or not it actually is, but I think your mind is more likely to be receptive to change. And the opposite of being more pessimistic towards the idea is also true of being less receptive to change. I think that if you do not expect it to work, you don't want it to work, you don't think it's going to work, for you, unless that's a very stark difference, I don't think you would notice it at all. Um, I think music has been and always should be about enjoyment. And I think if buying the nice things like a nice cable or nice pads or whatever it is, or a nice amp or source or whatever, I think if you buy those nice things and you think that they make a difference, in a way they kind of do. And it's not really my place to judge on what makes somebody's enjoyment go up or down while listening to music, but I do think from my position, and this may be warranted or not, that music is about enjoyment and you should enjoy the music that you listen to. If you're an audiophile, you should enjoy the process of analyzing music or whatever you consider an audiophile to be. So if aftermarket and nicer cables are a way of you getting more enjoyment out of your music, then go right ahead. I have no qualms with it whatsoever. I personally own aftermarket cables. I haven't noticed a difference in sound. I have them purely for aesthetic and length purposes and just having a more robust, reliable cable with a 1/4 inch instead of a 3.5 millimeter. So that's just my perspective. That's something that I haven't seen a lot of people approach it from. So whether or not it's snake oil, I don't know. I don't know the honest truth. I just know that a lot of the times if you think something works in a sort of capacity, it does. You know, sometimes you see people make like performance modifications to their cars or their motorcycles, and it's like an air filter, and maybe it's adding like 1 to 4 horsepower. You can't feel that. Like, let's be real. Like, unless you have driven that car for a million miles and you know every single ounce of power that that thing can deliver at any range on the specific road, on the specific driving, I'm sorry, on the specific, temperature of the engine, temperature of the outside, the altitude, all those things come into play. Yet these people think that they can tell the difference. And to them, that difference exists in their minds because they have made it to be so, because they're looking for that difference. They're looking for the positive outcome. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with anything that I'm saying. I'm just saying to be aware of one's perception of what is happening. If they think it is better, then it kind of, in a way, does make it legitimately better to buy aftermarket cables. I guess that's just my thoughts. Anyways, my name's Josh. This has been One Man's Guide, and thank you for watching.